President Obama's second nomination to the Supreme Court. His choice is Elena Kagan. She is currently the nation's Solicitor General, and she was the first female dean of Harvard Law School. But what is she really like, and what do we know about her? These are questions a lot of Americans have, so we're going to put them to former New York Governor Eliot Spitzer, who's been friends with Miss Kagan since their days at Princeton more than 30 years ago. Sorry to date you like that.
I was going to say, this is, you didn't need to be quite so clear how long ago this was, but that's all right.
But the point is, you've known her a long time.
Absolutely.
Went to Princeton, went to Harvard. What can you tell us about her going way back?
First, from the perspective of the public, she is unbelievably smart and thoughtful and careful. The sort of perfect qualifications to be a justice of the Supreme Court, somebody who will look at every case, think about the constitutional issues, and do what is right for the country. She is not an ideologue of the left or the right, and that is clear from what she did as dean at Harvard Law School. Just a perfect temperament to be a justice.
But she's been labeled as moderate. If you had to put a label on her, would you say that one is accurate?
I guess you could say moderate, but I would say she's really thoughtful and then passionate about what she believes, but very careful about what she believes, and that is why it's very hard to pigeonhole her, and that is why I think at Harvard she did such a spectacular job.
Can you think of a story or an anecdote from back then
that
might interest the public?
I got to think of one that won't, cause any problems in Washington. But, it's typical of her that a friend and I were going back and forth about who could eat more. She goaded us into having a spaghetti eating contest. And then, since she worked at the newspaper at the time, put a big picture of it on the front page. The place we had the spaghetti eating contest went out of business 2 days later because of all we ate. So we felt guilty about that. But she was always the one sort of orchestrating things, getting other people to do things. Smart, funny, witty, thoughtful, as clever as could be.
Okay, so I'm trying to take something from that. Could it be that she's persuasive, can bring people together, which is what the president is hoping?
Well, she will get the fifth vote. To put this in the context of the Supreme Court, when she is on the court and she's looking for a fifth vote because she needs to get the majority, she will argue for a perspective that will get, whether it's a Kennedy or a Scalia, whomever it may be, she will be persuasive to get that vote.
But first, she's got to be confirmed. When she was confirmed as Solicitor General, she only had 7 Republicans vote for her. Now it's even more contentious. It's an election year.
Right.
Will there be any hurdles in your view?
Well, of course there are hurdles, because as everybody's been saying, this is an election year, this is partisan politics, but the good news is her paper record is pristine. She has just been confirmed. She has not taken issues on some of the hot-button issues that would give either side a reason to object, and everybody has agreed she's incredibly smart and thoughtful and careful. And those are the qualities that you want in a justice, and if she does not pass muster, who would? And so I think that is the argument people should make.
You're her friend. President
Yes.
Obama has worked with her a long time. They are also old friends. So you can see why both of you would give such ringing endorsements. But she's never been a judge before, and she's going to the Supreme Court. That's something that hasn't been done in a long, long time. Can't you see that being an issue?
Disagree. In other words, not being a judge is a good thing. She has seen the world from different perspectives. In my mind, and I don't say this as an ideological argument, one of the greatest Chief Justices of the Supreme Court in modern history, Earl Warren. Earl Warren was the Attorney General of California, then the Governor of California before he was elevated to the Supreme Court. Experience as a judge or a justice is useful, but certainly not critical. What matters is life experience, intellect, and the temperament to be a judge and think through these issues the way she will.
You've told us a lot about her professionally, but people will want to dig into her personal life a little bit. What can you tell us about her as a person that we might not know?
When we go out to dinner and with friends, and look, there are a lot of us who've been friends for, as you've pointed out, over 30 years since college days. She's funny, she's witty, she enjoys having a good time, doesn't take herself too seriously, looks at the world and can laugh at it the right way and say, isn't it kind of amusing? There she was in the White House, the dean of Harvard Law School. Now she'll be, we hope, a justice of the Supreme Court. Somebody who is good-humored, always upbeat, looks at hard problems, knows how to figure them out. You can't imagine a better, more perfect nominee.
Someone we want long-term on there?
I hope so. Look, she's 50. She will, I hate to admit it, Elena, you're 50, but she will be there for a long time, and that is good for stability in terms of legal reasoning, the ability to project her thoughts for a long time into the court.
Eliot Spitzer, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Good to have you.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.